What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to go over, I got some rebuild parts in for the transmission, so I just wanted to go over them, kind of show you what we're going to do, show you the new gear set, and yeah, hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks I can get this thing cleaned up, finished up, and get it all back together so we can get it back in the car here shortly. Hopefully the weather holds out and we can go from there, but I'll show you kind of what we're doing and what we bought, and we'll go from there. So what we have here, we start out, this is the original clutch packs, the original gear that goes inside of it. These clutch packs did not look like they had much wear. There's still deep grooves on them. However, since we did pull it apart, I got all new steels, I got all new clutches. And moving next to it, this is what they call a sun gear. So if you look at this, this has got a helical cut gear on it. It's actually slanted. That's what they call helical cut. If you see, this one does not have any welding on the bottom. It's just pressed into place and held there. This is the new one, so this is a straight cut. This will hold a lot more horsepower. They say the helical cut factory gears will support roughly 750, maybe 800 horsepower if you're lucky. We were right at 780 at the flywheel roughly, so yeah, it's time to upgrade. If you see the aftermarket set, they're all TIG welded in. It's a pretty nice kit. It's all straight cut. You can see the difference in the teeth and how much more aggressive these teeth are, and they should hold quite a bit more power. The drum here, it's getting a little rusty in here. I'll have to clean it up. I'll get that straightened out before we put it back together. Here's the original helical cut gear set. So the sun gear actually slides into the bottom, so that slides into the bottom of that. And what you have is the drum. This goes into the drum with this little band holding it in there after you put the clutches in it, and that holds everything together, this little C-clip here. So the new set, this gear ratio here is a 176. This is the factory 176 gear set. I actually got a really good deal on a set that was used. So this one is a straight cut. As you can see, everything is straight cut. These have 3/8 mile passes on them, so I picked them up. But as you can see, everything's straight cut. This is a 176 down to a 169. I didn't really want to go down, but price is everything. I ended up picking these up for 400 bucks, so I would have rather went to a 180, but like I said, price is everything, and I got these cheap. They're in really good shape. Everything's good. You can see the difference. These are just pressed in, as to where these actually have nuts that hold everything together. So the shaft's a little bit heavier. Everything you can see just is a little bit thicker, a little bit heavier. It's made out of a better steel. Next we have that we ordered for it. This is the thrust bearing and the shim kit that goes in between the pump and the front drum. So if we need to shim it, we have the shims, and this is the thrust bearing itself. Also, we had picked up a new front pump seal and tail shaft seal. Also, this is the new filter kit. So here's the old filter kit. You can still see some of the particles that were inside this transmission from the torque converter failing, and unfortunately it's the reason why I'm rebuilding this thing. I just don't want to take a chance. You can even see, like, right around there, you can see the buildup. I mean, it's just, it went all through the train. Look at the back of the gasket. You can see that's all metal there. So we have a new gasket. There's the gasket there. We're going to replace that. These can actually be cleaned, but I didn't want to take a chance with having metal in it. And finally, well, the last two things. So these clutches are the reverse clutches. I ended up getting them all new. We ended up, these ones are still in the back of the trans. So if you look here, you'll see there's a big band that goes around here, and that band is holding it in the C-clip. There's a C-clip right here. Kind of hard to see, but yeah, this little C-clip here holds all these clutches in. You have to press them down, and then they release out. So there's the reverse clutches. I figure we're in there, might as well rebuild it. And we have a full gasket set. So everything is going to be new except for the band. But I don't know if I told you in an earlier one, typically the bands are bad if you can't read the writing or they're just wore out. But this one still, you can read the writing like brand new. So we're going to leave it alone. So yeah, after we get the trains put back together, what we're going to do is we're going to look at getting our wastegate pipes done. So I'll show you the car here. This wastegate, I want to dump it in the back here. So we'll run it out along here somehow, and then we'll run it down right behind this brake line. The same with the other side. I wish I knew how to TIG weld to make this all real nice, but I don't. So I have a cousin that can TIG weld pretty nice. So I got to buy a kit, and I'll show you guys where I get all my turbo parts from. Most of the turbo parts, all the hard parts, so your turbos and like the blow-off valve, that's an on 3. They're cheap. Blow-off valves, you don't really need a high dollar part in my opinion. Like I said before, the biggest thing is spend the money on the wastegate. So that's a Comp 40 gate, Turbo Smart. They're really easy to use. But the biggest thing is, like I said, guys, is your wastegate. Your wastegate regulates the boost. If you put too much boost in the motor, you blow it up. If you get a gate that sticks, to me, I'd rather just spend maybe another couple $100 for a good pair of wastegates over what you're going to buy the Chinese ones. And then you don't have to worry about blowing your motor up. So like I said, biggest thing is, to me, spend money on the Comp Turbo Smart. You know, some of the big dollar tile, they're good. Like all these elbows and stuff, we buy those from a place called Frozen Boost. So all these are out of Frozen Boost. All the couplers, they're really cheap for all the couplers and that. They sell phenomenal products. I mean, it's just hands down. I think these are like $2 or $3 per a band clamp, and you can't get those anywhere else. I mean, it's a T-bolt clamp, and they're really good quality. They're not like the ones you get off eBay where you tighten them up and then they blow apart. But yeah, so we're hopefully going to get all this replaced with aluminum. I'll get some new couplers from Frozen Boost. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm out of breath. So yeah, we'll get this gate welded up, and we'll get it dumping back here. I got to order all these pipes from Frozen Boost, so hopefully we can get those in the next couple weeks. And then what we're going to do is move on. We'll get the valve covers ground down. I want to get all these ground down. This was welded from where the little nipples used to stick up for the coil packs. So the OE coil packs are down on the frame rail now, and we've moved everything, all the wires down on underneath. This way they don't get melted as you're trying to come from the original coil pack. So like I said, we'll get these ground down. We're going to do these in a matte black like it is up here. It's similar to that. It's called crinkle black. It's a powder coating. Yeah, we'll get those done. So that's the two things we need to get done here. And then like I said, we'll get it up to my cousin after I get all the piping together and ready. We'll get this taken care of. So this one, that way that's done. It looks a little nicer. Moving on to the interior. So basically what we did was I had wrapped this dash in a carbon fiber wrap. So I just went over top of it. It doesn't look perfect, but it's good enough for what I use the car for. Then the next thing is I want to get these floors cleaned up a little bit before we put the carpet in. I need to clean up all this wiring. We need to take the valve cover out of here and put the new carpet in and put the valve cover back so it holds the shifter. And I need to get a bunch of wiring straightened out. So after we get the wiring straightened out, I want to wrap the backside of the firewall in that kill mat, just to save some noise, just so we don't have any holes in it or anything like that. The other thing is I want to get this seat out this week. We're going to get rid of this seat. I got a guy that bought them already, and we're going to put in, I got a set of Corbin seats. So They're not the greatest, but I bought them for $100. They were cheap. They'll look decent in here. And then last things last, this week, hopefully I'll have a couple videos of the new door panels and the new quarters inserts going in. So we have the carpet. We'll have all the interior pretty much done this week. So keep tuned. And like I said, a couple weeks on the trans. We'll get the interior together. I'll order the stuff to get the motor put back together. And we'll go from there. And hopefully the tracks will start opening and the weather will cooperate. In March, we'll start getting the cars ready to roll. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell your friends about this channel, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching, guys.